Okay, we're ready. Ready when you are.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Statement regarding public hearings. During the public hearing, I will first ask for staff's comments and reports on the item being discussed. After staff's presentation, I will then open the hearing to public testimony. I will then close the public hearing, at which time no member of the public shall address the commission unless specifically asked by a member of the commission through the chair. The Planning Commission will then discuss the matter among themselves and take action on the item being considered. Will we be starting with a flag salute?
Yeah, so we can have Commissioner Garcia lead us. Thank you, Commissioner Garcia.
I'm sorry, I can't hear, I couldn't hear Commissioner Garcia. Is that okay?
Yes, we just completed the flag salute.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Okay, roll call starting with Commissioner Garcia.
Here.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Here.
Commissioner Salas.
Here.
Commissioner Sandu.
Here.
Commissioner Singh.
Here.
Vice Chair Juarez.
Here.
And Chair Commissioner Curry.
Here. Potential conflicts of interest. Any commissioner who has a potential conflict of interest may now identify the item and recuse themselves from discussing and voting on the matter. Oral communications. At this time, any member of the public may address the commission regarding any item over which the commission has jurisdiction. No action or discussion will be taken on any item not on the agenda. Issues raised will be referred to the chairperson for review. Members of the public shall limit their remarks to 3 minutes. A special presentation, introduction of Deputy City Manager Rob Terry.
If we could just stop for 1 minute. Did you have any public comments for the record, clerk?
As a reminder to the callers on the line, please use *9 to raise your virtual hand and *6 to unmute yourself. Don't see any hand raised, so I think we're good.
Okay, and then just for the record, there's no one in the audience here either.
That's correct. Chair Commissioner, there are no callers. We can proceed.
Okay. So will you be introducing Deputy City Manager Rob Terry, please?
Yeah, thank you very much, Commissioner. Appreciate it. My name is Rob Terry. I'm recently came on with the city now. This is into my second month here. I'm serving as the Deputy City Manager. Come to you guys from the city of Reedley, where I've been for the past 5 years, 7 years with the Fresno Council of Governments before that, and then 5 years with the city of Reedley. So I've been in the Fresno region for about 16 years now as a planner, and really excited to be here. And great things happening in Selma, and very excited to get to roll up my sleeves and be a part of it. So very much looking forward to working with you. You're going to see a lot of new staff, a lot of new faces, a lot of shifting that's happening over the next few months as Selma is going through quite the growth spurt right now. And needs a lot of support and a lot of assistance. And so I also wanted to be able to hand it off to Trevor and to Mary to be able to do introductions for themselves as well.
Thank you and welcome.
Chairman and Commissioners, my name is Trevor Stearns. I'm one of the staff planners here at the City of Selma. I have about 8 years of experience in the planning, 4 of which have been regulated to municipal planning. And just like Rob said, I'm ready to roll up my sleeves and get going on some work here in the city of Selma.
Thank you. Welcome.
Okay, and then my name's Mary Lerner. I'm with Lozano Smith, and I'm the city attorney. And I think the last time you had a meeting, it was a joint meeting, and I was able to attend that meeting. But my now former colleague, Wes Carlson, represented the Planning Commission at that point. And he's decided to pursue criminal law, sadly. He was very good at what he did, yes. So just a different field he decided to go into. And so I'll be sitting at your Planning Commission meetings for a bit. And then my colleague, Claire Chang, she'll be joining us tonight. So hopefully you'll get a chance to meet her, but she's stuck on the 99. Oh no, she made it. Here she is. Come up here, Claire. You can sit up at the table with us. Snuck in right as I had my back turned. And so we're both here, ready to serve. And I know I've met Miss Solis before, and then I think just briefly each one of you at that last meeting. So nice to see everyone again. Thank you. Did Claire want to introduce yourself? Okay. And we have Zoom.
My name is Claire Chang. I'm an associate at Lozano Smith, and I'm looking forward to meeting and working with everybody. And thank you for having me here tonight.
Thank you. Welcome. Is there anyone else?
Oh, that is it. Thank you.
All right. Public hearing. Consideration and necessary action of a resolution recommending a zone change application filed by David Saunders, Blair Church and Flint Consulting Engineers to change the zoning designation from approximately 21.5 acres of M2 heavy industrial to CR regional commercial of assessor parcel number 348-19201S and a draft notice of exemption in compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, to the City of Selma General Plan Update 2035 EIR. I guess we will hear staff report.
Thank you, Commissioner and Chairman. Before you today is a proposal for a zone change amendment for a portion of assessor parcel number 348-192-01S from the M2 heavy manufacturing zone to CR regional commercial zone. The purpose of this request for a zone change amendment is to bring the site's zone designation into conformance with the regional commercial general plan land use designation, a requirement of state law. The overall project site is approximately 23 acres in size and is located between Highway 99 and Golden State Boulevard, just north of Floral Avenue. The portion of the site is undergoing a zone change amendment is approximately 21 acres. The remainder of the site is already zoned CR and will remain as CR. This project is part of the city's continuous efforts to reconcile inconsistencies between Selma's zoning and general plan maps. The site's current general plan land use designation of regional commercial is inconsistent with the site's current portion of the M2 zone. This application does not include any proposed development proposals. Any future proposed development to occur on the site would be required to undergo separate entitlement and environmental review. And I would like to make one note of a change in the second sentence in the third paragraph. The site's current general plan designation, it should read regional commercial rather than service commercial, just as a point of clarification there. That concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you. Any questions? All right.
I have a question for. So as we discussed, like there is no any full-fledged plan for what it's going to be. It's just a change of plan. But I go through that Golden State portion of that Golden State a lot, and whenever we are coming from either Danube Avenue or Highland, so we see, I have been living here for like 10 years, 12 years. I witnessed a lot of traffic over there, a lot of. So reviewing and thinking to change it, I think we should have gone through the traffic study over there, especially in the peak hours. There is a temple on Danube Avenue. Going there, coming out, it takes time.
Mhm.
And especially on the weekdays when people are going to the job or coming back from, so it's all crowded. And already I have seen like there is a need for like traffic rules and lights something. So if we are going to approve commercial zone over here, definitely it's going to be like it will be a little headache for like how to control and monitor the traffic. So that we must consider that if we have a study for now and like the future progress of the traffic in like 5-10 years, so we can think about that. But without, I don't think like it will be a good thing, because seeing the map over here, it doesn't show like how, if most probably the entrance will be from the Golden State. And are we going to, we have planned something for making, if it's a proper commercial zone, is there like how to go in and come out, as it's already a hectic going to Cats, so going to Cats, Selma, it's a hard, like, and sometimes you are stopping, there is no like a turn, people are coming behind, they are like driving, they are speeding a lot. And there are chances, and sometimes people like get distracted. So I think we need study for the traffic. And if they are depending on the entrance, what are their plans, controlling the traffic and also the lighting, please, if you, do you have anything, any idea about that?
Those are both great points, Commissioner Singh, if you don't mind. There's actually two items there that are going to be right in line with what you had talked about. So first, the general plan designation, which is already taking into account the regional commercial. As part of the program EIR associated with that whole process, that assumed the amount of traffic that you would have for each one of those uses. So that's where the initial look for traffic and traffic analysis came in. Once a project specific comes onto the site and they're going to start talking about this is what they're actually proposing to do, then you're going to have specific traffic analysis that's going to be done on ingress and egress off the site. And it's going to talk about any additional mitigation measures that they might have to take in, such as signal, left turn lane, those type of items that are going to deal with traffic there. But the first part of that process from the program environmental impact review has already been analyzed through the general plan program EIR. But as the staff report had stated, there isn't any project specific action that would be taken on this one right here. It would just be changing the designation on the map to bring it consistent with the general plan. And then any specific project that an applicant would be looking to do from there, they would be required to do a specific traffic analysis for whatever their project is.
But do you think like if we go with proper planning, like if we are in advance, before time, we are in on right position, how to tackle the traffic? If we have study, then we should go, we review, all the commissioners review it, like how the study, like a traffic is going over there. So in my opinion, we should have that beforehand, because once we introduce it's commercial, like everybody will be like, people will be thinking to come, and everybody is looking for a location to do job. And we recommend like growth of the city, but we also care for like the safety of the people. So I really think we should have the traffic study beforehand. That will be much helpful. Otherwise, once we approve it, then people will be, like we have witnessed developments in proportions, and nobody cares. There are so many places we need, upgrade.
Yeah,
So-
understood. And we certainly do have the level of traffic analysis that we can have without an actual project being in place up to this point through the general plan EIR. Once the specific project comes in, and then they start talking about how many parking stalls, how much square footage of actual commercial activity they might be talking about, that's where we then can get very, very specific. But without having the specifics of a site plan at this point, the best that we can have is the stuff that's in the program EIR, which we do already have in place and has been reviewed by both the Planning Commission and the and there would be no changes to that analysis at this time, because what we're looking to do is bring that into conformance with the analysis that had been done. Yeah, but very valid concern. I absolutely understand what you mean.
Who pays for a traffic study?
That is the responsibility of the applicant.
So right now, because there's no project, there's no traffic study then.
That is correct. That's the only reason why we wouldn't see something more specific traffic at this time.
And this zone change is just for this particular parcel, nothing north of that, because north of that is still M2?
That is correct. Yes, just if you look on attachment 1 that has the project location and zone map, it's just the area outlined in red.
Are there any proposed projects?
There hasn't been anything that's been officially proposed. The landowner has been in contact with us as well. Contractor that they would like to work with in the future.
Mhm.
And they have been asking about what type of uses would be allowed there. So we know that they are at least monitoring and interested in what they this is also directly adjacent to the Pioneer Village area as well. And during special events, a lot of times over weekends, you'll see overflow parking that will happen here. This property owner over the years has been very open to working with the city to allow for that overflow parking. And so we've also been engaged with conversations about formalizing something about their design to also accommodate that type of joint use in the future. But nothing that they have submitted an application on up to this point.
Thank you.
Would there be any public comments? Anybody that would like to speak for or against the zone change proposal?
So Madam Chair, this is Mary Lerner. For the record, if we could open the public hearing and then ask if there's any public input and then close the public hearing once that portion is completed, so we have a clear record.
Yes. Yeah, that was my question. Thank you. So I will now open the public hearing. Any member of the public that would like to speak for or against the project may come forward. Please, you need to state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
As a reminder to the callers on the line, please use *9 to raise your virtual hand and *6 to unmute yourself. Chair Commissioner Curry, there are no callers on the line and there's no one present in the audience.
All right, I will now close the public portion and turn it to the commissioners for discussion. Anybody has any comments, concerns?
I think it's a good idea to go ahead and, for conformity's sake, have it zoned as commercial. However, we should keep an eye on what type of businesses or proposed projects are going to come in, because as Commissioner Singh did mention, it is a high traffic area and we definitely want to keep the citizens and the public of the City of Selma safe.
Yes, for that reason, basically a proposed project would come back to the commission and we would have, I believe, a chance to put our input on it. If a traffic study is required at that point, the applicant would be informed by the city to get one done, and we would have the chance to review it. Today, I believe, and please correct me if I'm wrong, what we have to do is get a motion and a second to get this zoning change to make it conform with the general plan, and then review later what would come in front of us.
That is correct. And just for clarity and transparency, once the designation were to be changed, as it would be even right now, if a project were to come in that were what's considered a by right use and they met all of the criteria within the policies and regulations, it may not need to return to the Planning Commission. for formal approval unless they are asking for something that requires planning commission action. Or if it was a by right use and it met all of the criteria, the design standards, which do include traffic analysis and items that are of course reviewed by the city engineer and approved by the city engineer, there is an instance where the planning commission may not see it. So I would just want to make sure that that was understood, even though it would go through the appropriate analysis and address the concerns that were brought up.
But I still stay with my point. Reason, like once we start, development, as it's not a single portion, little portion. It's like 23 plus acres. So we know, like once we, it's a commercial, it's going to be there. But at least we have idea how is going to be the entrance, where they are having the entrance. At least these things, if we have, I will be, like comfortable to say yes.
Absolutely, yes. And
Otherwise,
those things
I'm no.
would absolutely be analyzed. Yep.
So it has to, because as you are mentioning, like I have another question. Who is going to develop? If the people who are going to establish their businesses, they are likely to develop it, or the owner of the land is going to develop it?
No, it really depends. Sometimes owners choose to develop it themselves. Sometimes they choose to enter into a partnership with a developer and have the developer actually do the work for them while they retain ownership. Sometimes they sell it to a development firm. So there's a lot of different ways that it can be done. And it's really up to the private property owner and how they choose to approach those items. And
But,
then we as city staff work with them in the appropriate manner.
But for his property, it doesn't matter like how they develop, but entrance and exit to the property, it has to be, must be a plan.
Oh,
So,
yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
So I feel like if I see that, I will be more in a position to have my opinion. In the absence of, the idea how is the entrance is going to be, how is the exit going to be.
Yep.
So that affects my decision.
Yeah, I totally understand. Yep. And before any type of approval were to take place for any specific project, that absolutely would be required and analyzed and need to be approved.
So basically today, we cannot require of the applicant to provide any of this information that Commissioner Singh is asking about?
I wouldn't put it that way. I would put that you're just not at that level yet because there is not an actual project to be analyzed up to this point. So right now, the action that the commission is being asked to take is to allow the appropriate designation in line with the general plan. So what the adopted general plan says now to make sure that our zoning map matches what the general plan says that they can do on. Whereas right now, they conflict and therefore you can't do anything on the site.
Right. What is overall the allowed use that would be, under the regional commercial?
Trevor, you want to go over a couple of what a couple of those could look like?
Oh,
The
man.
list can be pretty exhaustive.
It's regional commercial, so it could be anything from, like a truck and trailer business where it would be parking and then there'd be convenience stores, things like that, all the way to like a container storage facility, if you will. So it could vary that wildly. And just to give a point to Rob, that's why we would wait to see what development is proposed there before going through with the requirement of having like a traffic analysis, because those two different uses or the wide variety of uses that are allowed in that zone district could very affect the outcome of that traffic study.
Right.
If you think like, as you mentioned, like the trailers or containers likely to be, so if truck and trailer becomes like 72 feet long. Containers vary from 25 feet to 45 feet and 53 feet as well. So if this is the idea, then I really recommend we have to have the study for traffic, because bringing our car from any private property, it's just a little space we require. But assuming 70 feet long truck and trailer or trailers, or anything, like which is more than 25 feet. So that's going to touch the second lane as well.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
for that reason, I really recommend we must have traffic
Yeah,
study.
regardless of what they may ultimately propose to put there and approach the city and look for approval on, we will look specifically at what they're proposing and then the requirements that would go along with that. If it were to be a standard shopping center, right, then, you might have certain deceleration and acceleration lanes. If you're talking about a truck and trailer, those items need to be wider, they need to be longer, right? So all of that would be very specific based upon what it is that they're proposing. We do not have a proposal at this time. We're just looking for consistency between the general plan and the zoning map to ensure that if at the appropriate time they want to move forward with the project, that they have the ability to do so. But it would still require everything to be reviewed and approved appropriately.
I have a couple of questions, statements. Right now, all we're doing is we're agreeing to align our zoning with our general plan, correct? Okay. And secondly, if an M2 is going to generate income for the city, is it going to generate more or less income for the city than CR, generally speaking?
Generally speaking, you probably see more revenue that would likely come from CR.
Okay.
You're gonna have more tax dollars that roll.
Thank you.
Any
I move-
additional questions or comments?
I'd like to move to approve submittal number 2022-0002.
I second that.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
We have a motion with Commissioner Garcia, confirm with Commissioner Gonzalez.
Yes.
Commissioner Salas,
Yes.
Commissioner Singh,
No.
Vice Chair Juarez,
Yes, and it was actually Commissioner Sandu, that motion.
Second motion.
Did she
Seconded.
second?
Seconded.
first, let me just clarify. First was Garcia and second Sandu.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Vice Chair Juarez
Yes.
and Chair Commissioner Curry.
Yes.
So for the record, the motion passed 6-1.
Correct.
All right. I believe this was the only item on our agenda.
Madam Commissioner, there's a regular business item, a staff presentation to the Planning Commission to take attachment 1 to City Council for formal acceptance.
Okay, and I'm sorry, I can't see that from here, so would you like to proceed with that?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Trevor.
Yeah, I can take that. This is just an opportunity for Planning Commission to give any feedback or response to any of the analysis that's shown in the annual progress report. I'll go over a quick presentation here, just a verbal presentation, and then we can take any questions from you guys if you have any. So the annual housing progress report is a yearly procedure to gauge the residential development environment of local jurisdictions. Furthermore, the report summarizes the implementation of policies and programs from the city's housing element and general plan with the intention of meeting the goals set in the city's housing element. This report is ultimately submitted to the California Department of Housing and Community Development, which allows for the city of Selma to remain eligible to receive future housing grants. The Selma Fifth Cycle housing element, which was the previous housing element, was a part of a large collaborative initiative, multi-jurisdictional housing element that included nearly all local jurisdictions within. From that, policies have been outlined and the city has been made a commitment to provide housing opportunities for all income levels. For the Housing and Community Development Department, has become increasingly aggressive with local jurisdictions that are not meeting their goals set forth in the previous housing element. That goal in particular is the RHNA, the Regional Housing Needs Allocation, one of the integral purposes of a housing element. The fifth cycle housing element, the City of Selma was assigned a RHNA of 605 units. This includes 104 very low income units, 115 low income units, 69 moderate income units, and 281 above moderate income units. Under the fifth cycle, the city has permitted approximately 50% of the established RHNA. City's current general plan land use element emphasizes the preference for contiguous urban development and the infill development of vacant properties within the city limits, which has been successful because the city has a low percentage of vacant land within its city limits. The general plan policies include supporting smart growth policies and encouraging the consolidation of small lots to facilitate development projects of sufficient size. The land use element also establishes a new high-density residential designation and zone district that requires a minimum of 19 units per acre. The actions the city has taken, in addition to future proposals, will aid in the city's effort to reach the allocated RHNA total designated by the city. Staff's next step is to present this report to City Council for formal acceptance and then the subsequent submittal HCD.
Thank you. Any questions about staff's report?
Of these proposed developments, are they going to move us closer to compliance with the low-income housing requirements that come from the state?
It depends on the specific project. The projects that are listed in the attachment 1, a few of them do. I believe 2 of them meet those requirements. It totally depends on the project. As the market is right now, usually you're going to see a lot of the above market or moderate income units, just because that's how the market is currently operating. However, working with local jurisdictions or other jurisdictions such as Self-Help or the Fresno County Housing Authority, they sponsor a lot of projects that do allow for low income apartment units, things like that, which will also aid the city.
As far as down payment assistance program, I did read through that, and there's some county and state assistance that we're currently approved for, but I know that Selma has not been approved for something locally for a while. Is there something that we're planning on applying for through the state to get funding? I know other jurisdictions have down payment assistance, and that would help get those lower income families into a home, especially with the pricing as it is right now in real estate.
Those are definitely programs that we're consistently keeping our eyes open for. And one of the biggest reasons why we need to make sure that we are submitting these reports in a timely fashion and showing that we are doing all we can to meet those numbers is so that we can remain eligible for those programs. One of the main criteria for that is one of the first.
Question for staff, please. So at this point, if no one has any additional questions or input, Is there a motion we need to do, or was it simply certain recommendations to the city council?
Yes, if you could take a motion and a vote on it to recommend that we take this to the city council for their formal acceptance and direct us to submit it to the state.
Okay, may I please
but-
have a motion?
So
or
this
questions?
is, I'm sorry to interrupt. This is Mary Lerner again. If you could open it up to the public first for any, to see if there's any comments online, as there's
Okay.
no one in the audience.
All right, I open now the public hearing. If anyone would like to speak or comment on this project, please state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
A reminder to the callers on the line, please use *9 to raise your virtual hand and *6 to unmute yourself. Chair Commissioner Curry, there's no one on the line and we have no one in attendance.
All right, I'm closing now the public hearing and turn it back to the commissioners for discussion and for motion.
I make a motion that we submit the annual housing element progress report to the city council.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Salas and a second from Commissioner Gonzalez. Roll call, please.
That is correct. Commissioner Garcia,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandu,
Yes.
Commissioner Singh,
Yes.
Vice Chair Juarez,
Yes.
Chair Commissioner Curry.
Yes. All right, motion passes. Oral communications. At this time, any member of the public may address the commission regarding any item over which the commission has jurisdiction. No action or discussion will be taken on any item not on the agenda. Issues raised will be referred to the chairperson for review. Members of the public shall limit the remarks to 3 minutes. Do we have any oral communications, please?
As a reminder to the callers on the line, please use *9 to raise your virtual hand and *6 to unmute yourself. Chair Commissioner Curry, there's no one on the line and no one in attendance.
All right, well, we close the oral communication section, and if we have no additional business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Somebody has to make the motion, I guess, not.
So,
Sure.
Madam Chair, this is Mary Lerner, the city attorney again. You don't necessarily need a motion to adjourn. You could just simply adjourn the meeting under your authority if you would like.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, I apologize. I believe in the past, we've always asked for a motion to adjourn, so thanks for letting us know.
You're welcome.
All right, I'll ask staff if there's no additional business. I'll just move to adjourn the meeting at 6:38.
Thank you.